Welcome, everybody.
Thank you to Beach.
Thanks, Beach. Knocking out those intros for us.
Yeah, that
Thanks,
was a really
Beach.
nice one. I like that.
Yeah.
And I just want to see if anybody picked up the little message at the very end.
I did.
Yeah, we watch crap movies, so you don't have to.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the truth. So thanks for everyone joining us today. Here we go with Play or Pass. If you've never watched the show before, what we do is we'll review a movie that was picked by the viewers last week, and we were forced to watch it, and hopefully you watched it too, so that you can kick in your thoughts and comments of for this week's pick. Also, join our Telegram group where you're able to vote a Play or Pass for this movie, as well as helping us to pick next week's movie, because we have a movie next week, and we'll see by the end of the show what they are. Let me go through and say hi to the panel. I see everybody in here today. How you doing, Roger, Eddie, Beach, Alban?
Doing good.
Good.
Yeah, everybody's
All
doing
good.
well. Yeah,
Spring
Beach
is
has got
here.
his Oculus on. He's ready. He's got Oculus up.
He's playing mini golf in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs some help. He's not
Yeah.
been he's kind of on a bad swing right now.
Yeah.
I'm clubbing Nitram to death with my putter.
A little hint there, what we got coming for us. So, say hi to quickly to the people over in our side chat. If I can get this window to pop up. Soheil was first.
Yeah, he was listening to some Leopard, baby.
Yeah, he was. So great to have that. And Red's over with us. Octavia's with us. Thank you for joining us. Patty's hanging with us. It's awesome. And Leon, thank you for hanging out with us. Deanna, Daryl, thank you for hanging with us. Dabs, North Carolina's still alive. Well, that's good to know. That's still going. Yeah, I'm kicking the colors. I'm the colors going. And Gloria changed her name. That was Gloria before.
Was it?
Yes, that was
Yeah.
Gloria before. She changed her name. I know the icon.
Okay.
It was like.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah, she did. Yeah.
Seppi Glow. Nice to see you. So thanks for you guys joining us. And so we've got a few movies to go. We got one movie to go to through today, as well as we will cover our thoughts on the Oscars, and not just the stuff that everybody's making memes about. We'll talk about a lot of different stuff on the aspects of that. So first of all, we need to go through and take a look at the movies that we have options for next week. And why am I seeing myself there? Hold on. Let me try this again. There it is. Okay. So Nitram being the movie that we're going to do this week. Some of the movies that we're asking people to make a vote so that we have to decide, or so we're given a choice of what we have to watch for next week. And I think this week is going to be reluctantly, we've got to watch one of these movies. And that's just my opinion, because some weeks we have great movies and some we don't have so many.
Well, you got to think that, a lot of stuff is late released from COVID stuff, quote unquote, that, they held on to it thinking, oh, well, it's going to be a good week to put this out. And they just jack us with it. And, and it's funny that so many of the great directors are gone now. It's funny that I noticed this before, but we'll discuss it a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get into the Oscar stuff.
Yeah.
So quickly, I'm going to run through some of these movies, and these are the movies that are our choices for next week. By the end of the show, we'll know which one was voted the most, that got the most votes, and then that's what we have to watch this week. So we have Death on the Nile, which is a remake. We have Dreaming Hollywood. We also have Jackass Forever, which, I think we all know what that is. Anybody that's followed that series. Jockey, I looked at that. This actually looked a little interesting.
Yeah.
About a jockey.
Collins, yeah.
Studio 666, another horror movie option.
Mm-hmm. With the Foo Fighters.
Okay, with the Foo Fighters in it. All right, and then we have The Issue with Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Shadow in My Eye, another movie
I love that
there.
one.
You Are My Mother is the last option. So
Mhm.
between those, we're going to be forced to watch one of these. And so Death on the Nile, Dreaming of Hollywood, Jackass, Jockey, Studio 666, Issue with Elvis, Shadow in My Eye, or You Are Not My Mother. And again, vote in Telegram so that you can get your voice heard. And I will say this: if you vote, then you are forced to watch the movie too. Because if you got enough gumption to put a vote in there, you need to watch the movie along with us. So
Yeah,
we're not
suffer
tortured
along with the
alone.
rest of us.
Yeah, there's no need. So
Oh,
no
why are
need.
you suffering? I watched all 8 of them.
I know. Bless your heart. I couldn't. No, I
Man,
looked through some of that list and like,
you know what I do for you guys.
well, I'll
You know?
watch whatever is voted for. I will watch that. I will tell you that. I will watch whatever's voted number one for us to watch next week. So we got Nitram. So I'm going to open the floor. Put your comments, folks, over on the side chat, what you think, and we'll throw those up here on the screen as we kind of cover it. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll start open the door to Nitram, thriller or drama. I think it's more of a bore fest than a drama or a thriller. But so
uh,
what you guys think? Nitram.
uh,
I
you
didn't.
start or you get okay. You go ahead.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. It was long and slow at times, but it was a good script. The acting was all really good. The cinematography was great.
Yeah,
It was
agreed.
the story pacing was just slow,
Yeah,
slow.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
what got me was last week when we talked about Spider-Man being a long movie, but it flew by, as you watched it. This one is a half hour shorter, Nitram, and it fucking dragged
Yeah.
like dragging a freaking Chevy through the freaking Sahara Desert with no tires.
Yep.
I mean, granted, it's a true story.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better as a documentary
Yeah.
than a feature film. But it just, ugh, longest 2 hours I've spent in a long time.
I did check the time remaining 3 different times in this movie.
Yes.
I did. I did too. Yeah, and it's you look at it, it's 2021 Cannes Film Festival Best Actor.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it's gotten some. And now I actually thought last week I was like, that looks interesting. But
I got
interesting does not describe it when you start actually watching it.
I gotta tell you guys. Uh, first, Todd, you want to hit
Yep,
that?
got it.
Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I when I first watched this, I was like, "What the hell?" I said, "If this were my child, I would have beat the snot out of this kid." And I was so enraged that I had to keep watching. And the more I watched, the more I got pissed off at the father, at the mother. And I said, why aren't they doing something about this guy? He's completely out of his mind. When the father goes and picks him up at the school because he's doing the fireworks there in front of the school with the kids there, and he gets back in the car and he was just laying on that on the car horn. I wanted to put my foot in his head. I was so pissed off, and I say to myself, you know what? They're bringing out that kind of emotion in me. This guy is doing that. Well, okay. Well, there's a reason for it, and I said I gotta keep watching it, and um, and I knew something would have to happen. And I remember reading about the movie that there was going to be tragedy and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this guy is gonna, kill his parents or something because they just don't, they can't handle him. But then, he goes out and he meets Helen, and they're, you know, they got along, but she was still bossed in a way. And could you imagine the mother? It was just like, he goes out to cut lawns and he comes back with a new car, and
Yeah.
and next thing you know, he's moving out and he's gonna stay in her house. And I love the way how he tells her, "Oh, I'm moving in now,"
Mm.
And I'm just like, when he was in the car with his father and he keeps grabbing the wheel, I'm like, this guy, somebody needs to do something. I can't. It still brings up a rage in me. And,
yeah, I mean, because we all want to. I don't know. We're all of an age where you got your ass whooped.
Yeah.
You messed up, and people can go, I don't believe in corporal punishment or spanking my kids. I'm of an age that I had my ass whooped at times, and you know what? There was times that I needed it, and that kept me on And I'm looking at some of this thing, I'm thinking, and I know that this kid had some issues,
right?
But still, when you go unchecked,
like no one did nothing,
and
everyone failed him. Everyone failed him. His parents, the state, his doctors, everyone failed that kid.
And I think his mom was just at her wit's end.
Yeah.
Dealing with didn't know what else to do.
She was worn out.
Yeah,
and I think they picked a good character. I think that her character in this, she looked worn out. She looked weathered and just like
right. And to know, because knowing that her husband had issues too,
but you didn't really catch that until the end.
She knows the son had issues. What was this woman supposed to do? And then so you watch it, and then you're saying to yourself, well, can you really blame the parents? Look at what this mother is going through. Sure, it was, it was in Australia. It's not like it's here in the United States where you'd say, oh, well, either commit them in or get them locked up, something, and I just felt that, knowing at the end that, that it was a true story. And the thing is, I remember when this happened.
Yeah, me too.
And that's what really got me. And I said, wow, this was a good movie. That's why I thought it was good, because I do remember, and I remember, people were killed and seeing this on the news. And I was just like, wow, that was messed up, because, I remember thinking to myself, well, we would always see that stuff going on here, but to then see something like that happen over there in Australia, I was just like, things like that don't happen there, and that's why it meant so much to me. Not like back then it didn't.
Oh, it wasn't on the news,
right? It was on the news, but it wasn't like here where
yes, Patty,
everyone would just go and shoot someone, for the fun of it,
Yeah. And I don't know. For me, I think I agree with Roger. The guy that I think the acting was good. The mom, and especially the mom and the Nitram. I thought Nitram. I thought they did Martin. Yes, Nitram backwards.
Yep.
I thought that they did a good job. Cinematography, I have to agree. The cinematography looks really good. But I was like, come on, where are we going with this? And it was Blue watched it with me, and she is not into these kind of movies, especially when they're a true story and has to do with people being shot and this and that. And she was uncomfortable through most of the movie. She's like, this is going to go bad. She goes, this is going to go bad. This is going to go bad. And she's like, if we stop watching this, I was like, no, I got to watch it. I have to finish this. And
I'm sorry, Blue.
But I just
I understand why she hates me so much.
Now you know why she doesn't come on the show.
Right?
Yeah. Normally she wouldn't have to watch it, but she was watching it with me, and it was on Sunday, I think. And just come on. And I think that 2 hours felt like longer than 2 hours. A 2 hours movie, and it felt too long. And I felt the other thing I wondered about this movie was, I look at movies about what the agenda sometimes on these type of movies. What's their agenda? Did you notice at the end they talked about that the government bought back a bunch of guns?
Right.
It said 600,000 guns or something like that it bought back. And then it goes, and then it says, well, there's more guns on the streets now than there was back then.
Yeah.
And so I kind of looked at him like, all right, so is this made by an anti-gun?
Absolutely.
Was that the focus of this reason this movie was made? And so I don't know. I looked at it like that. I wondered, makes me wonder, and so then you wonder about what's twisted to work towards that agenda. But yeah, I mean, it really did happen. So you can't take that part away. But
What?
that's all I can.
Well,
Go ahead, Eddie.
I hated this movie, and I like this movie. Okay, I liked it because I fell asleep on it once at the beginning because it was so. But as a matter of fact, when I woke up and I saw what was happening, and I started to get into the story, I was getting frustrated because I'm saying this guy is being let down by his parents, is being let down by the system. Okay, he's in Tanzania or something in Australia. Could be, he's restricted because he's in the boonies or something like that. But I'm saying a guy like that, like if he wasn't put in his place by the age of 7, as I was told, that if you don't put a child in his position, in his place before the age of 7, you're messed up. In other words,
that's why they showed it right at the beginning. With him that he set stuff
burned
on
up.
fire,
He got caught on fire from the fireworks.
And no one did anything.
And he didn't learn a lesson.
No.
Yeah, because she said, "Are you going to stop playing with the fireworks?" He said, "No,
Nope.
But the mother, I could see in her eyes that she's saying through her eyes that I've tried everything, but nothing worked.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. She's like physically exhausted. Just by the way she was smoking on a cigarette, it's like, this is all I can do is smoke a cigarette. I can't do anything with him,
Yeah.
I think she did an awesome job.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The actress, not the mom.
Yeah. I think Judy. Someone. I think Leon put Judy Davis.
Yeah.
But it's scary in one sense. It's scary in one sense because after looking at this movie, I said, this could happen to any family. I'm not saying it's just one case. What happened there could happen again.
I thought this was Baldwin. This Anthony Palega. I thought it was Baldwin.
No, that's the guy from Without a Chase, without a Trace.
Yep.
I don't know why I was thinking.
And I think he did a great job.
I did too. I thought the acting was really good in this movie. I really did.
Yeah, that's how I felt because they brought out emotions out of me while I was watching, and that's why I really enjoyed this movie.
So I've seen that kid in X-Men and Get Out, and it's been what I've seen. Get Out. I remember seeing him, so I knew I'd seen him somewhere.
Yeah.
And he did a really good job of playing somebody with mental issues, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid had issues. I mean, put it this way. If I would have been his mom and he came back and he said, I'm moving in with Helen, I would have gone, okay, great. Crack the champagne up, sell the house, we're moving to another fucking town, changing our name.
I know. I was thinking that. You need a ride over there?
I just think we should mention to Patty that we do think that he had mental issues. I thought that he had mental issues from the start. And we felt that he was let down because
they didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything to help him. No one did anything. They just let him keep carrying on whatever he wanted. He was able to get.
His dad enabled his bad behavior at every turn. His mom was exhausted. His doctor didn't really stand up for his rights. He knew the medication was to make the mom's life easier. So and he kept on prescribing the meds.
Yeah, the meds. Yep.
The state didn't step in because obviously he had issues,
Right.
But you think about this though, when you think about we think about mental health with people and when they're struggling with certain things. And locking people up is not the answer.
No.
when we look at stuff
No.
like this, but where's that line of how do you help someone, and if they're at a point where they can't, you can't help them as a at-home thing, and so where do you put them into the system, and how do you build that system to judge when do you lock somebody up? Because he could function, he was able to go and do stuff, he just made a lot of bad choices. He hit that, and he had anger issues, of course, and couldn't express himself, because you saw that on the lawnmower. When you remember when he got frustrated with the lawnmower, he just started smashing and beating on the lawnmower because he couldn't handle his emotions. So it really leads to the question is, all right, so for people with mental health issues, where do you force someone to take care or to be put into a facility? And is it fair to lock them up because he could function, but like you guys said, he's let down in a lot of aspects, but he has some he's got to be able to do certain aspects. And at what point do you say, all right, well, he's so far gone, we're just going to have to lock him up? Because to me, I mean, for me, when he was a kid, and yes, he had issues, and maybe his family structure didn't help him to understand boundaries. Because to me, there was no consequence. Whatever he did, it was no consequence. Now, maybe that was his mental health issue, or was that because he got away with it for so long while he was a kid?
I think it's because he got away with it for so long.
Yeah.
Because everyone gave up on him. Because think about it, that the school, I don't know how long he stayed at school. If the school put up with it for too long,
Well, they portrayed him as not learning anything in school because he couldn't even count money.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah, he said, "What can I buy with this?"
Yeah.
Right.
But the spot when he was looking in the mirror and he started kissing the mirror, that, in other words, I took that as a point where he was gone. He was completely gone. The only person he could love was love himself.
Well, and to me, when he got on his dad, when his mom came and got him and said, "Your dad won't get up," and he climbed on his dad and just started beating the hell out of him. I'm thinking, wait a minute, your parents didn't do that to you to get you to do what you needed to do, but you're going to do that to your dad, and then dad ends up dead. Now, they never told you, did he kill his dad or did his dad commit suicide?
No, he killed him.
No, his dad committed suicide.
Yeah.
You think? All right.
Yeah,
he did.
Definitely.
Yeah. But just, I mean, it got me wanting to read more about the true story of it. And I mean, what kills me is, so he was 19 and Helen, she was 54. All right. And in the movie, you see they go to a car dealership and she buys a new car, gives him the old one. Okay. In real life, over 3 years, they bought over 30 cars. Wow. So they were buying 10 plus new cars a year over a 3-year span. So she had a fair amount of money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. She said that. But remember the actually, like you said, that plays into when the car dealer said, "Oh, she's back."
Oh, she's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if any, rich old nutbags are watching, I'm available. I'm housebroken.
I didn't know. I didn't know if she was trying to have sex with him or be his mom.
Right. Yeah, and that's what the mother wanted to find out. No,
but I mean, when she died, which was basically because of him grabbing the steering wheel, she left him everything. So he got 2 houses and
$500,000.
Yeah.
And did you guys notice that he had that $500,000 in that bag, and as he was buying guns, the bag got less and less of the money. And then at the end, he just had change left.
Yep, just had change. Yep, because he didn't know how to handle money. Yep. Just like how he said to his father, "I'll buy you whatever you want." You know, remember how he goes to the bed and breakfast that they wanted to get, and he goes there, and he just started banging on the door, and you know, he sees the people there, and he's still banging on the door. You know, I would have wanted to shoot him. You know, it just enraged me so much. This kid.
And then he went back and killed him.
And then goes back and kills him. Yeah. You know, and that's, I think, the thing that about this movie that I think that really bugged me was that when he was in the car with Helen and she dies, you're gonna tell me that the police officers didn't really like look at the street and say, oh well, you know what, it was, they took a swerve here first, and you're gonna listen to I say that he was sleeping in the car. You know what I mean?
You got to prove that part. You have to prove.
Well, how about
the police would have had to prove
other
that.
truck? How about the other truck that almost hit them? You can tell them the truck driver's going to say, "Oh, what? The guy wasn't smiling, laughing with his hand on the steering wheel." You know?
Yeah. Well, that, I mean, if you go by the movie, not knowing what happened in real life, you know, his dad's basically, you know, covered for him because, like I said, he had a history of doing that. Like in the movie when they went out for the test drive of the new car. Yeah. You know, he started doing it, and the salesman was freaking out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But like even something like that, it's like you don't think that, you know, the salesman would have came back, or unless the salesman was so used to these people spending money on cars.
He wanted to. You don't think he didn't want that sale?
He wanted that sale. You know, but you know, you would figure, okay, well, hey, this woman was killed. You know, this guy isn't going to be able to come buy a car because he don't even have a license or anything.
Yeah.
And you know, you would figure, you'd say, oh well, you know what? Let me at least let the police officers know that, you know, this guy, you know, don't know how to drive a car, and he'll swerve the wheel. You know what I mean? I just thought that was kind of disturbing, that, you know, to get away with that, you know, and this poor woman has to die because this kid is a moron.
Yeah. But I'm saying, in normal chances, what would this guy be, you know, like a good case for a lobotomy, you know? That would have solved his problem.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I'm not an advocate for that.
No, you know, I'm not up for shock treatments. I
would have let him loose on Hannibal Lecter. You know what I mean? I would have let Lecter work on him easily. You know.
Well, in hindsight of knowing what he had committed, but again, it's it was the story, or maybe the story that was behind being this a true story, was captivating, but did it need to be 2 hours long? It's like hour and 52 minutes.
My last
45 minutes.
My last time check, there was like 14 minutes left in the movie. I was going, how in the hell are they going to wrap this up in 14 minutes?
And they did.
And it just cut.
But did you see any of that coming, like that?
Well, I knew the story.
Oh, okay.
Before,
okay.
So I knew he was going to kill a bunch of people. Yes.
Right. Right.
Well, I knew it once I saw him. Once he had that BB gun and he was the pellet gun and he was shooting. I'm like, obviously he has a fascination with he's gonna have a fascination with guns. And then when she dies, he starts buying guns, and I was like, ooh, this is gonna go bad.
It's gonna go bad. Yep.
And what was the other thing was
when you keep buying them. Oh.
And you saw he recording it. You know, that was the other thing is you know, him wanting to record it.
And how about that he lived?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if someone didn't have a gun, think about this, if you're at some festival or something, most people wouldn't be carrying. I mean, maybe if you're in Texas, they are, but in most places, you don't have people carrying a weapon unless you're a police officer, and the police officer, you know, not necessarily going to shoot him.
But they said that so many people there have guns.
You can have them, but that don't mean you carry them around with you. I mean, in the U.S., lots of people have them, but
true.
In a normal time, you don't see people, even with the concealed carry permits. You know, so I don't know. So
No,
let's go.
Even what I guess what I'm saying is even okay. He sits there and he uses up all of his rounds or whatever. You're gonna tell me no one then there's pounce on this guy? They had to catch him at some point.
Well, yeah, they probably
They
pounced on him. I mean, they
would have
killed him.
pounced. That's what I'm saying. You know, hey, you killed my wife, you killed my kids. You know, I'm sorry, you're not leaving this spot. Okay?
It's one of my arguments against high capacity magazines.
Yeah.
Because if they have to take time to reload, you got time to tackle the son of a bitch.
Right.
Yeah, because I think he ended up killing, what was it, like
25
people?
35 people?
35 people.
Yeah, 35 people.
And wounded 23 more.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Patty says, and this is state to state in the U.S. is, this is in Australia. So where in some states here, and I know the state, when I was in North Carolina, you couldn't carry with no license or training. If it was now you could now take that back. You could carry a gun on your side without an issue, but you couldn't conceal it. You had to have a concealed carry permit. So
that was weird about when I moved to Arizona, because it's an open carry state, and like everybody that's in a biker gang, and there's a lot of biker gangs in Phoenix, they all
carry.
They all packing on both hips, just crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and give this player pass, and then so we got time to talk about the Oscars, because I feel like I don't know. Did anybody else, not to be stepping on nobody, did anybody else want to chime in with what their thoughts on this movie, or we don't cut nobody off?
No, I said what I needed to.
All right, Beach and Eddie, everybody.
Make sure everyone votes. Everyone, please vote on in Telegram also.
Yep. So be sure on Telegram. Link is down below. You'll find the link on any of our Player Pass. We have the links to the Player Pass Telegram group where you're able to do your voting. So let's go ahead and jump on this. So play or pass. Play would mean that you would recommend this to friends and family. You want them to watch this movie so that you can have a discussion with them. Or pass, you don't want your name on this movie. You don't want your friends coming back to smack you upside the head saying, why did you waste 1 hour and 52 minutes of my time? So let's go ahead. People on the side chat, tell us player pass as well as the panel. I'll start with Eddie down here on the bottom. Nitram, play or pass, Eddie?
I was going to give it a light pass, but I'm going to say it's a pass. I'd be scared to give this to somebody else's, like on the borderline of intelligent and being an idiot. No, I give it a pass. I have to go with a pass.
Okay, all right, good. Octavia, pass with drinks and patience. So do you need to be drinking and some patience to get through the movie? You need to be drinking. I don't know. What do you think, Roger? Play or pass for this movie?
I didn't like this movie, but it's a play just because of the acting, the cinematography, the script. I mean, it was all so well done. It was except for the pacing of the movie. Other than that, it was a good movie. But so it's a play for me.
All right, Beach.
I think my poop emoji pretty much says everything I think about the movie. So I will give it a pass.
Okay. All right. Alvin, what do you think? Play or pass for
It's a definite play for me. I've told some other people about this that, like to see. Because, a lot of these types of movies are what are coming out, unfortunately. Is not anything being done about it? No. But this is what we have to watch.
Question, Alvin.
Yeah.
After your friends watch this, are they still going to be friends with you?
You're still a friend with me now, right?
Yeah, but I had to watch it.
Yeah, you had to watch it.
You didn't suggest me to watch it. It was voted, and
it was voted.
Part of the show, I had to watch it. I was forced to watch it.
But you still like me. If I picked 4 of these movies and you don't like it, and I say I like it, you still like me.
I'm thinking we're gonna find out. Albin's gonna thin out his friends because he's gonna start.
No.
He's gonna suggest in this movie.
No.
Next thing you know,
herd.
No,
He said, "Yeah, go over to
they-
Auburn's. We're gonna have a double feature of Nitram and Jerry Curls."
Well,
if they're still your
Roger's
friend
my
after,
friend,
you know
'cause
they're
he
right.
like- he liked Jerry Curls.
I love Jerry Curls.
Ugh.
All right, so for my vote,
You know, about
I give it.
What
I do
happened
give it
there?
a pass. Oh,
yeah.
who? What?
Okay.
Who? What? Am I on? Chip?
Oh, okay.
All right,
you give
I give it a
Yeah,
pass.
you're here.
I give it a
Okay.
pass. I will. I did what Roger said. The cinematography and the acting were good. To be honest, those points were very evident. They were. It was very well shot, and I thought that the acting was good, but the story, was so slow and so slow. And even with it being a movie that has social meanings to it, and kind of almost, I don't want to say documentary, but some little bit of a history to understand how things happened.
Mhm.
I could not recommend this to any of my friends because I like my friends, unlike Auburn. So I have to say, I'll give us a pass. So as I was looking through, I saw one soft play, mostly passes. Redneck gave it a soft pass. So I thought I saw a play. Oh, Octavia gave it a play. Yeah. So everyone else was pretty much a pass on this. If I'm not mistaken, and I know Blue gave it a pass. What else in the voting? I think it was only
5-2.
5-2.
Five pass.
5
2
passes, 2 plays. So
Yeah.
I think we could see where you think we fall on this. It's
Mhm.
not highly recommended, but hey, maybe this is your jam. So you've been warned. So just like the beach had in the beginning, we watch crap movies, so you don't have to. So hopefully you take our advice on this. Let's see. So we're going to talk about the Oscars, and then at the end of that,
vote. You want to talk about voting for next week's movie?
Has it finished out? The voting finished good enough to? So
unfortunately, it's a tie right now. So we could wait if you'd like.
What's it a tie between?
It's a tie between and Shadow and My Eye.
So all right. So you said
we could
Death
wait,
on the Nile. You said, oh well. So then that's not my movie. So neither one. You said
no.
You said Death on the Nile and Shadow in My Eye are the two.
Shadow in My Eye. Yeah.
All right. I had voted for I'm Not Your Mother, so I'll vote for that Shadow in My Eye.
Oh, okay.
I'll take a shot for it. I don't like mysteries. I don't like Agatha Christie's, so I'm sorry. I mean, Blue is dying to see Death on the Nile, and we're gonna have to freaking watch it. But
watch it, No,
I'll have to watch it because she wants to watch it. She told me today she was so super excited. But I'll watch The Shadow in Your Eye.
You better change your vote. And did Blue vote? Because you know her. She'll jump. Oh, she did vote. She voted for Death on the Nile. Oh,
yeah.
So you better. You know what? Listen.
She ain't gonna watch it either. She ain't gonna be on the show next week anyways.
Todd. Real seriously, I don't want to be like Will Smith and have to get slapped by someone because you didn't side with her.
You'd be like Chris Rock. You'd be like Chris Rock.
I'll be like Chris Rock. Because you didn't side with her. I know. I am bald. And so I think you better vote with her because I don't want her, coming at me.
All right. Well, hey,
I'll beg the others of you out there to vote for the movie because that's what I voted for. Because I did like the movie, but apparently, I don't know what I'm looking at when it comes to movies.
All right,
but it was another true story.
I'm going with Shadow in My Eye because I'm looking at Eddie, Roger, DeBeach, Alban, and Leon all voted for Shadow in My Eye. So I have everyone on this panel to blame if this movie sucks ass. Okay.
And I only voted for it because Alban said it was a good movie. So.
Okay, so I'm going with Shadow because I'm looking at who voted, and it's the people on the show. Guess what? The people I'm looking at. All right, so Patty D voted for Death on the Nile, so she watches all the time. But James, I see him on Fridays. But yeah, we're gonna go with Shadow in My Eye. We're gonna go with that. So that got the most.
It goes by his second name also.
The Bombardier, Bombardment.
Yeah, something like that.
Skyjin.
Yeah, there's two names for it. No, there was something else.
Bombardment.
The Bombardment. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Also, and you can get it. You can get it dubbed.
Okay. All right. So that's what we're watching next week. Like it or not, that we're stuck with it. So let's go ahead and start talking Oscar talk. I think we'll have more fun with that than we do in Nitram. Oscars. So the Oscars are over. So you guys, I know I didn't watch the Oscars, but I definitely saw the memes the next day. And so the Oscars. So what you guys thinking of the Oscars? People that won or?
Okay. Well. Also, another. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yep.
We have another poll out there in Telegram for everyone to vote on for. Who's a better man, whether it be Chris Rock or Will Smith. So please go out and vote on. There's so many issues with what went on there, but you continue first, Todd. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Yeah, you're right. I was good. Yeah, it says, and that is in the poll. It says, who was the better man, Will Smith or Chris Rock? And I guess let's go ahead. You want to talk? We'll talk about this first before we go into the actual categories, and we'll talk about the categories. So, I mean, what was your? I mean, I didn't watch it, but I definitely saw the next day. Do you think? First of all, let's ask this question: do you guys think it was staged?
No, absolutely not.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't either.
ABC would never allow, something like that to happen on their network. Of being able, of cursing, of someone striking someone, would never happen. It would never happen.
Yeah, because I was watching it live, and they on the live feed in the US, they cut out a lot.
They cut it out.
Yeah.
You just didn't see it, and there was like no sound, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And that's what I was and I'd post in Telegram because I was watching live. I'd like to know what Will Smith was yelling. So apparently
you found out, right?
Yeah, we found out later on.
Yeah.
So found out Roger found somebody had posted on the Twitter. That I guess it wasn't bleeped out in other countries and stuff. It's out there for you got to see it. But I mean, I'm old, and one of the funniest people I used to think in the world was Don Rickles as a comedian, and he is living basically making fun of whoever was there in the audience, and you knew what you were going to get,
right?
So he made a joke, and I didn't know that Jada Pinkett Smith had an issue, aphasia or whatever it's called with her hair. When I saw her earlier, I figured, she shaved her head. I thought maybe she had shaved it she had a movie role coming up.
Yeah, when she did the Matrix one. So
I just, I didn't know anything about her medical condition or anything. And Chris Rock is a funny mother effer, So he makes a joke.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he's a comedian,
and he laughed. And Will
Smith Will
Smith laughed until he looked at his wife.
Yeah.
But I can give you another example. We had a similar situation like that here, where a comedian made fun of the disabilities of another artist. Okay, the other artist took the comedian to court, and the comedian won. In other words, they're saying if you're going to a show to see a comedian, no matter what happens, you go in there. If you didn't get insulted, that's part of the game, because he's doing his job. He's there to make you laugh or make you cry. but you go there expecting to be, have fun.
Mhm.
So the comedian won.
Yeah.
Well, and
Well-
I think about this. All right, how many of us have been to a comedy show?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of you guys? I've been to a comedy show.
Yeah.
How many of you have sat in the front at a comedy show?
I'm too smart for
I-
that.
I have sat in the front, and guess what? I was the butt of some
Oh,
of
of
the
course.
jokes. But you know what? I laughed and rolled with it
Yeah.
because that's part of being in
Yeah.
that position. When
Yeah.
we can go back 10, 15 years
Mhm.
at the Oscars. What about when Ricky Gervais got
Yeah.
up there?
Yeah.
He, oh my God, he almost burned the house down with
Right.
some of his jokes.
Right.
I mean, I was actually like, because he was cold blooded on on the other actors and actresses there at the thing. That's part of it. Now,
Right.
if you don't want to be part of that,
Don't go to the show.
don't put yourself in that situation.
Right. Don't sit
And
in
I
the front
understand
row. you know?
Will he's nominated for Actor of the Year, so of
Mm-hmm.
course they got him up front. But you know what? You've got to control yourself because to me, so if we condone this,
Mhm.
where does that line stop? Every time someone gets insulted
The
during a comedy
comedians
show,
won't be
you
safe.
can walk over there and smack the comedian.
I don't
If
even.
that would have,
I don't
if-
even
if-
condone heckling, let alone assault.
Mhm. Right.
You know?
I mean, if it was you or me,
Mhm.
we would have been
Be locked up.
tackled
Yep.
and in jail.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Will Smith smacked him, walks back to the seat,
Sat down.
and sits
Curses
there,
him out.
and still gets his award
Right.
for Actor of the Year, which was for a
But-
role that he did play it, so he won it. Whatever.
Right.
He was able to do his acceptance speech. He was able to go to the after parties. So to me, it's what they got away with is not what everybody else gets away with. And
No,
they're
but
no
you
better
got to
than us.
remember. Let me just point something out. You got to remember, Will Smith to producers and directors is their comedy gold
Yep.
because every movie that he does makes so much money.
Mhm.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
I love
And,
Will.
uh,
Up until
up
last
until
Sunday
now.
night. Yeah.
Right. And so it's like he was always able to get away with whatever. He was always able to get, if he said, if he found out that there was a script for something and it never got to him, he could say, let me see that script. I want to do that movie. You know what? He'd get it.
Yep.
Okay. Because it's Will Smith. And I think it was wrong because we're talking about, the Academy. The Academy was always supposed to be prestigious and to be, okay, these are, you're doing this for all of your peers and everything is all glamour and all this. It was supposed to be no bull for anything. And here, he's able to go up there, slap somebody. What if that were Jerry Seinfeld up there?
Mhm.
And Jerry Seinfeld told a joke and he came up there and he slapped him. What would happen? Do you think it would have been the same as it was with Chris Rock? No.
How about if it
wouldn't.
was? What if it was Joe Rogan?
Right, or Joe Rogan. Could you imagine Joe Rogan, just kicking him?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But let's just say now it was Jerry Seinfeld. Do you think that they would have came up and tackled Will Smith and pulled him out of there?
In 1975, yes, definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
but I think I have to give all the credit to Chris Rock to sit there, take that slap like a man, and still sit there and say, "Oh, okay, well, still continue with the joke, knowing that that it's running through his head, like, what the f happened? This just happened here. What's wrong with this guy? That you're gonna go do this to me here in front of the world, and still get away with it, and no one's really coming to my defense, because you got to think that he thought that, and especially for this guy to go and get an award and then not even have the the decency to say, you know what? Okay, I'm a black man. I came up here. I did this, and they and you know what? I have to apologize to this. It just wasn't. It just wasn't right. You know, because think, you know, here goes Chris Rock has to go back home to his kids because his kids saw him get slapped on national TV. You know, and not have to get an apology. I don't care about an apology. You know, 2 days later on Twitter or something, some other type of platform. You know, it just wasn't right. I know, you know, I just don't know. It's just not right. You just can't go and do that to someone because if it were anyone else that were up there, it would have been a completely different story.
But in theory, nobody knew after Will Smith hit Chris Rock that Will Smith was going to win the Best Actor award. Nobody knew. In theory, nobody knew.
Right.
But let's say if somebody did know, they say, okay, they make a decision. Let's say if he gets the Best Actor awards, then the decision is either you take away the Oscar or you let him go. The decision should have been made there.
Right.
Because if the mistake was made there when he hit Chris Rock, the decision on him should have been made there in front of everybody else at the same time.
But it's not the first time he's lifted his hands to somebody. And
not in public.
Yes, in public. Remember that other reporter that was there and he cold cocked the guy? And it was just like, are you kidding me? You know, why would you do something like that? You know, it's like, you know, we know you can, you know, you were taught how to box, you know.
Yeah, he was in Ali.
He was in Ali, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And he spent a lot of time, you know, working out and training for that part. You know, he can throw a punch. Apparently not too well because, you know, Chris Rock is standing there still smiling.
Well, but I don't think he was looking to knock Chris out. I think
he just wanted to smack him.
He was looking to embarrass him.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like he felt like Jada was embarrassed. And the other thing about with the alopecia. Thank you. When she shaves her head, to me, it's almost like when cancer patients start losing their hair and they say, you know what, I'm not going to lose a little bit of my hair. Right. I'm going to own this. I'm shaving because I'm not going to go through the little patchiness. So to me, and we see women all the time that go with, I'm going to go bald. My hair's thinning. I'm going to own it. It ain't going to own me.
Right.
So to me, when I've seen her in pictures and she's shaved, I didn't know she had the disease. I just thought, you know what, maybe it's thinning. She's thinning, and she's gonna just own that. But again, when we go to have to strike out at somebody, where does that line stop? Because you could say it was his wife and this and that. Okay, you know what? You could have got up and said something, just like Chris said something. Chris said something. You could say something back.
Right.
You don't have to get up there and to physically touch someone. And
I think that because Chris Rock is the guy who he is, already, you know, because he's already got, you know, this new tour that he's doing. God help the Smiths because, you know, he has every right to come back and say anything that he wants.
Yeah.
And
just light him up.
He's gonna light him up out there. Yeah. And people are gonna flock to go see this.
Well, you seen what happened to his ticket prices, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. You know,
but I've seen Chris Rock, and I mean, he's all right, funny when you see him live. Like when I actually seen him, and it was all right. But all right, so I will. Hey, I just want to. So I done lost what I was going to say. What I was going to say is, so what should be Will Smith's punishment? Some people say take his award. In my opinion, you shouldn't take his award, but I do think there needs to be a repercussion to this. I say, I don't say lifetime. I say, for me, it'd be you give him a certain number of years that he can't be nominated and he can't attend the awards. Not for lifetime. I don't think. I think a slap is not lifetime, in my opinion. I mean, so that's my thoughts. So you guys.
Well, they're asking on the side if they think he's going to sue. No, I don't think Chris Rock is going to sue.
No,
he's gonna. He's just gonna, kill them with kindness, because that's what he does.
Yeah.
He can make fun of someone in such a subtle way that it won't be funny, and he's got a lot of friends, that he can, get together and say, oh, let's make a mockery of the Men in Black movies. You know what I'm saying? He'd do it.
Just get Dave Chappelle up there with him. That's
right. I could see Chris Rock saying, you know what, I'm really gonna make the redo that movie, the one that he called her out for being in
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane 2.
He's gonna make a G.I. Jane and use all the wigs from bad hair, from good hair. Yeah. You know what I mean? He'd do something like that. And then what could he do? There's nothing you can do. Yeah. Because people are gonna flock to the theaters to watch it.
So what should Will Smith's punishment be, if any?
Eddie, from the Academy, the Academy should have not given him that award, because if it were anyone else, like I said, if it were Jerry Seinfeld up there going to do this, and then Will Smith comes up and slaps him, they're going to drag him out of there. They're going to drag Smith out of there. You understand? And there would be no getting an award. Because it's the Academy.
I don't think he take the award away.
No. I don't think they'll take it. I think
the Academy would normally take it away.
Get a ban from the Academy for a year or two is what I'm probably imagining, that he'll be banned from voting or in attendance, for a year or two. That's what I think they end up doing.
Personally, I think you should hit him in the pocket. Okay?
That's not going to hurt him. That's not going to
hurt him. No. Let's put it this way. I should hurt him in the pocket. Even though it's not going to hurt him in the pocket, he's still going to have to give up a certain amount. But even though you give him, let's say he's expelled from the Academy Awards, let's say for 4 years or 5 years, plus he has to pay a fine. But the fine goes to help other actors and not go, directly to Chris Rock, But he has to, monetary wise, he has to pay something. That's my own opinion.
Well, I'll have it. Every Will Smith movie I watch from now on, I'll have it in the back of my head. This guy's kind of a dick.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to take a hit. And again, it gets your point of view. I mean, I wonder, because I do know that some people saw it as that he was standing up for his wife, and I get that point.
Not if he laughed first. Not if he laughed first.
Yeah. And I mean, Blue looked at it, and Blue said when we saw it on that Monday morning, she goes, he laughed. Then he said something. She goes, so he wasn't doing that because he felt like it was what he needed. She goes, he did it because his wife gave him that look. I said, maybe that's all a man needs at times.
And the other side of it is that you got to remember, the Smiths, the reason why I really have a problem with them is because they have that open relationship that they go out and they tell everyone all of their business. You sit there and you let your kids be emancipated from you when they're 12, 13 14 years old, and raise your kids the right way. You know what I mean? They let them do whatever the hell they want. It's just as bad as Nitram. Okay. And then so you're going to, have a problem when they have a problem when anyone says anything about them, clean up your own house first.
And the kids seem to be backing their dad, which is, understandable.
Yeah, of course. That was their mom. I mean,
right.
I mean,
well, but don't put your stuff out there like that.
Yeah.
With an open marriage and letting the whole world know. You know what I mean?
I've seen some comedians already roasting Will about being gay and coming
Oh,
out of the closet. And,
Yeah, it's gonna get. And you think about this: if
big-
they would,
it's gonna get
if
bad.
Will wouldn't have done anything, nobody would have remembered that joke.
No.
Not a single
Nope.
person would have remembered
Nope.
that joke.
Here's the
Absolutely.
thing. I mean, in retrospect, if he just would have sat there and not done anything, then go up during his acceptance speech, then make a
Yeah.
comment.
Mhm.
I really took offense earlier at the comedian making fun of a medical condition my
Right.
wife has, and people
Right.
find it humorous. Boom, the court,
Absolutely.
the ball
Which it
directly,
would have been on the court, right?
and it would have been Chris Rock would have been the bad guy.
Mhm.
You know, I didn't know
good
anything about her.
Although when Chris
But, I
Rock
mean,
did say the joke, he did apologize to her.
Yeah, well, because he could see that she didn't like it,
Uh-huh.
and he was, I mean, he
Yeah.
just picks on people. I mean, like he made the joke of her when he hosted in 2016 when that was the Oscars Oh So White,
Yeah.
because Will didn't get nominated for Concussion, which
Right.
he did a great role in that movie.
Yeah.
But
So, all right. Well, hey, we could probably beat this for
we
horse,
could.
and nobody. Guess what? Everyone's not going to agree. So that
No.
is
Yep.
what I do like about this, though, is we have people of, well, I won't say different ages on the panel because we're all within a range, but
Yeah.
we have different backgrounds, different ethnic groups. So we have, and then the same thing with people. And I was looking at the things that Octavia said, and I respect and I appreciate and Gloria with her comments. People that see it from a different point of view, and I really appreciate it. And it's good to get perspective from different points of view because different people see it differently. And so good points. Let's go ahead and let's roll in because we're getting at, we're about an hour and we hadn't even talked about some of the things that bothered Auburn the most about the Oscars.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me just add this in here. Ta-da. You got the celebrities that die. The memoriams. They always screw them up, as we all know. They forget certain people. Some people never get what they deserve. More than a 2-second thing on of their name just popping up. Give it a minute for to let people realize, oh wow, that person passed away and maybe I didn't know about it. It's one of the things.
Forgot about Willie.
Yeah, Willie Garson. Yeah, you know what I
Forgot
mean.
about him.
David Coupel. Yeah, he was in from Crocodile Dundee.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Hal Holbrook, 95,
So many
and they get so many movies. Todd's just going by so quick.
Well, we got. Hey, Auburn, I got a lot of slides here, brother.
I'm sorry, brother. I couldn't help. Yeah, total. There's so many people.
Yeah, well,
what I'll do is I'll put this slideshow out on Telegram also for everyone. Because it is so many people, but it's a shame to see them, all gone.
Yeah, well, one thing I will say, they also this year at the end of it, they gave you a website where you could go and look for the other people.
Oh, they did. I didn't know that.
Yes,
because I didn't watch it, but I heard that they forgot.
In the live broadcast, basically they're letting you know they hand selected certain people, and if you wanted to see a full list, go to the Academy, and then they would show you other people. But like I said,
something should be done for for actors. There's got to be something that should be shown to give them. It's not like what was that that series that they used to do that would talk about an actor, about their life. What was that show? You remember? You know what I'm talking about? there was a show. I can't remember it now, but they would just discuss an actor's life.
This is your life.
No, not This Is Your Life. No.
Omar coming.
Omar, yeah. Clarence Williams III. He's like one of the, Mod Squad for me was like one of the my shows growing up that I absolutely loved.
Yeah, you didn't have a whole lot of black guys to pick from.
I didn't. And
him and Lamont.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
J.J. Walker.
Yeah, I was gonna say JJ.
Yeah. William Hurt. And to
Sally Keller.
I think I just Meatloaf. Yeah, some people I think they deserve more than what they get out of the quote unquote Academy. Sidney Poitier, but he at least got a send-off.
He had to get screen time at the Oscars,
right? But some of these others, I feel should have also. Bob Saget, they didn't even talk about it. Right? Yeah. They didn't even talk about him. Ronnie Spector, and she just lost her husband. A couple months earlier.
The Amazing Jonathan. God, yeah. He was so crazy.
Yeah.
There's a documentary about him, about the Amazing Jonathan. That's pretty good.
Well, let's have to check it out. This kid was in that Moon Knight. I mean,
which was awesome, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say, there's 75 slides, and I give all props to Alban, who created this slideshow. And like I said, I did go through them, but because we could spend 4 hours going through talking about all these different actors. But we'll put this out there. But I lost a lot of big actors and actresses that over this past year, and for numerous reasons, and tough to say. So
and a lot were COVID, a lot were cancer. I put in there how most
how
of
did
them
Shock D die?
That was was an OD, I think.
Was it really?
Yeah, look toward the bottom there.
Accidental death.
Accidental death.
Damn it.
Okay. Accidental overdose.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So
that
okay.
Sucks.
Yeah. Hotel room.
So, all right. So
a
lot of
what bothered me, okay, when they did the tribute to the 50th anniversary of The Godfather. Okay, first of all, they're introduced by Diddy.
Why?
Okay, I don't know if he's produced any movies or what, whatever. But one, why was he introducing them? Two, it was the 50th anniversary of The Godfather, not The Godfather Part 2. So why the hell was Robert frickin' De Niro out there
right.
with Al Pacino and Coppola?
Right.
So, what the hell?
Yeah. I don't get it.
Which is the better movie, 1 or 2? And 3 is not even in this.
It's not in that category.
Yeah, he can't.
Right.
Which is better, though?
The 1.
You like 1?
I like 1. I do like 2 also a lot. Fredo.
Yeah.
It's a toss up because I like the showing the backstory. With,
me too.
De Niro showing young Vito and how they build it up, and
well, that's why you have to watch the Sicilian.
Yeah.
That's just like.
Yeah.
I think that's the best of them all.
Yeah.
To show that whole story while he was away, and I love that one more than anything. I thought that was Puzo's best work.
So what about all right, so just kind of run through there. This has the actor Will Smith winning it for King Richard. I've seen King Richard, and I did think that Will did a very good role in that. I've seen Being the Ricardos.
But Being the Ricardos was good. Power of the Dog, I couldn't stand.
Oh my God, Benedict! That whole Power of the Dog. Right. I don't think nobody should.
And even
other than cinematography.
But look at Tick Tick Boom. We
Andrew Garfield.
And we were like, oh my! I still can't finish the movie. you know, and Macbeth, you know, I guess they didn't want
Musical.
Will Smith to win out over Denzel on that because it was Denzel who beat Smith out on a movie that because the year that that Denzel won for
Training Day.
Training Day, that's when he was doing what was that other movie?
Hey, I got some trivia about Denzel. I should have posted Play It Fast. I found on my phone there's a little news blurb, and we have been pronouncing Denzel's name wrong the entire time.
I've heard that.
It's Denzel. He said it himself. There was a clip of him pronouncing his own name. We all mispronounce his name.
Yeah,
it's Denzel.
Denzel. Okay. All right.
Guess when you have enough women calling your name Denzel, you're not gonna complain.
About it. Yep.
All right. So then we get to actor, supporting role actor, and our Troy won that for Coda, and we do know that he won it for in the other one, that other award show.
The Poppies.
Yeah,
no.
He definitely would have won it in the Poppies. But yeah, he won. I've seen all three of those. I don't know. Power of the Dog. Jesse, I did like Jesse's role in that, and Cody was okay in that. But again, the movies. I don't know if anybody else has seen it. I don't know. It's just not there. So definitely felt that. Actress in a leading role. I did watch Eyes of Tammy Faye today. So Jessica Chastain won that. I haven't seen Parallel Mothers.
I did. I liked it.
So Penelope Cruz, but I did Jessica Chastain. I'll tell you, when I watched The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and I used to live in the Bible Belt, North Carolina. Right. Know all about. I'm a churchy. I've been, and I to be honest, after I watched Eyes of Tammy Faye, I was ready. I'm ready to go to church on Sunday. I mean, when she's singing, and I don't know the feel that I had from that movie. She played a really good part, and the singing. I'm I'm ready to sing some hymns.
I gotta say though that The Lost Daughter with Olivia Colman, that was pretty good. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. I watched it way back when I added it to our list that we never chose it, but I thought that was pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was a good story. It's the one that Maggie Gyllenhaal directed, her first thing that she directed, and Maggie did the she did the right thing by that movie with directing it. So.
Well, I didn't know, and I didn't watch it until I watched The Eyes of Tammy Faye, that Andrew Garfield is
Jim Baker.
He's Jim Baker in it, and I was like, wait a minute, hey, he's Jim Baker. So, definitely. What about we had the actress in a supporting role?
Yeah.
You got West Side Story. Adriana won that one for West Side Story. I didn't think for supporting actress.
Judi Dench,
no.
What did they do?
I watched Belfast. Did you think that Judi Dench played a big enough part to be
not
a
big
supporting?
Enough, but as a supporting role, no, not big enough.
She had the look.
She got nominated just because of name value. Of body of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because her role. I mean, she's the grandma in it. And her role is not that big of a role, and I was not a fan of Belfast the movie. I mean, I don't know, it was. I
loved it.
Okay, well that's because you relate. See, for you can relate to that period and that country, that
music.
Culture. Yeah, so you have that. I don't have that. So I'm watching it, and it's just like, come on, it's just so. We had the animated feature, which we know Encanto. I knew that was going to win. You knew that was a very good movie. Did a really good job. I did enjoy Raya, though. For me, I did enjoy Raya, but it won for that. Cinematography, Dune got that one, which makes sense.
Yeah, well deserved.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
cinematography, it did a really good job. Costume, here's where Cruella really only
Cruella.
placed it
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
for costume.
And well deserved because the
Yeah.
costumes were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was deserved for more. It should have
Yep.
been in more categories.
Yep.
You guys,
Yes.
I mean,
It
because
should
that
have.
movie was really good, and
Yeah.
because it came out early in the year, I think it got snubbed
Yeah.
Yep.
because it was forgotten. I
Yep.
mean, it should have got for all kinds of things. Directing, okay. So here's where I think that we're all going to have some. We're not going to agree. Jane Champion winning for directing Power of the Dog. We have Belfast was nominated, Drive My Car, Licorice Pizza, and West Side Story. So for directing, I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on?
You remember when we watched Coda, and we said, imagine what that director was going through to try to, direct a movie like this. Why the hell isn't his name up there? You know?
Because he went into the freaking wishing well one too many times, or the swimming hole one too many times.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Well, and for me, I think a couple other things that were snubbed on this for directing. I think Dune should have been in here for directing
For
because think about this: when you are going to direct a movie it is a known book. It is a iconic book, and it was a big movie prior back when it was at the 80s.
Yeah.
It's so when you take on that movie and you have to put your spin, and that was a big. I think it deserved for director being nominated for director because you're not just creating your own movie. You are having to. You're going to be scrutinized by everybody because everybody knows the book.
Right.
Not maybe they haven't read it, but maybe they read parts of it. But I mean, Blue loved that books. So to me that, and I was surprised. Spider-Man again snubbed on this whole list.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was maybe
But
the acting, but directing. Where's
but
directing?
none of those Marvel or DC movies make it here. None of them, because the Academy doesn't. For some reason, the Academy says, "Oh well, those aren't movies. Those are for kids."
That's not cinema.
Right. It's not cinema to them. I don't know whether it's because of all of the CGI and not seeing. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not really acting. It's it's a computer. Computer generated stuff.
But I mean, how hard is it to act when something's not there at all?
I know. I understand that.
To a green screen, there's like, oh, this is a big monster. You need to look scared.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna put a monster in there. Licorice Pizza. Have any of you guys watched that?
Yeah, I watched it.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Any of you else in the panel?
I
watched it. I don't know if it would have won for directing. Especially since it's a new movie that these two main actors that had never done anything before.
But the movie's not good in my opinion.
No, it's not great. It was just a good. To me, it's like a good short story. I guess.
It's 2.5 hours short story.
I guess I don't get to look at time because I watch so many movies.
Yeah.
And I don't look at the time.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know. I just when I saw it was nominated for so many things.
I like the cinematography and I like the time period.
Yeah, it was a time. It was like a timepiece thing.
And I love that 70s type stuff, and that's why I liked it.
Yeah. Documentaries.
But it's just this girl that who does a movie with her sisters, her father. I think her mother was in it too. You know what I mean? And then here it is. It makes it to the Oscars. I don't believe it belonged there. It didn't.
No.
Don't Look Up's first appearance on this?
Yeah.
No, they were. It was picture. It was nominated for a picture.
Best picture.
It was in best picture.
Okay.
Why?
Film editing.
I don't know.
Dune got that. I don't know. Film editing. You really only know
editing is a lot. You know what I mean?
You only know editing when it's wrong. That's when you know
when it's
editing.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you
But
notice
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for an editor. It is.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
and
I'm
don't
sure.
get me wrong. There's a lot of things that editors do that completely drive me crazy. Like let's say a movie is about to start and they don't put up the name of the movie. That's like my biggest pet peeve. You know what I mean? I think that completely drives me nuts. Put up the name of the movie.
What were we watching? Blue and I watched something recently within the last, and it doesn't say the name of the movie until
they
like
do that
30
all the
minutes
time.
into the movie.
Right, and it's just like,
I
why
can't
are you
remember
doing
what
this
it
to me?
was. What we watched.
I'm trying to like put stuff on my Plex, and I'm trying to find the name of the movie, make sure that it's right. There's no worse pet peeve than that. Or when they put up titles, or and showing the names, and it's like it blends in with the background because they don't want to put a border around the characters letters on the screen. Well, just doing that would make things easy so a person can read it. I know I sound like I'm 90 years old because I can't read this stuff, but you're right there along with me, brother.
I know, I'm right there.
Yeah,
a week away.
Isn't that a week older than me, no less?
I know. So all right, so makeup and hairstyling. Eyes of Tammy Faye got that. Cruella was nominated. Dune, House of Gucci was nominated. Coming to America.
What?
So all of those.
What?
For
know,
makeup and hair design.
Yeah,
I mean,
makeup and hair design. I can see it being there for that.
Yeah. And I'm glad that House of Gucci
Brilliant.
didn't get actually voted for, because that was another movie. I was like, ugh.
I didn't even watch it yet.
So I'm gonna skip past music.
Oh, I want to know what was music.
I want to talk about music.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you want to?
Because
we got
freaking Billie Eilish wins. All right. And I can freaking fart louder than she can sing, because she doesn't sing anything louder than a freaking whisper. It's
right.
It's like she's singing and has a mic in front of her. I want to sneak up behind her and stab her with a freaking needle to see if something louder than a whisper comes out of her freaking mouth. It just drives me nuts. There's my 90-year-old man.
No time to die.
So
007, but 007 music always wins.
Yeah.
You're right. It does. It
always
almost
wins.
all the time. You're right. Those 007 movies are always nominated for a song. Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. So we get in here to Best Picture. So we had Coda, Belfast, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, West Side Story. So, and Coda won. So we were all happy here, because we would have to be arguing it if Coda had not won this.
The funny thing is,
I would have preferred Dune myself.
Yeah, I would have liked Dune also, but I'm glad Coda won. You know why? Because you know what? As much as I can't wait for the second Dune, but we don't know how well that's going to be done. I know they're going to do a good job with it.
They'll do a good job.
I don't want to, put my eggs on it, because maybe they might forget something or not put something in, and it's going to annoy me.
There's just too much money in stake, because there's so much more source material that they can go into after the original book.
True.
Well, let's hope, since Coda won, it'd be interesting, since Apple. Think they would be the first streaming service to win an Academy Award. Apple said, okay, here's some money. Let's make a Coda 2.
Right.
The girl goes off to college.
And her family needs her to come back.
It did great. Let's just leave it alone. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, we should.
I don't say don't go to the well again with that.
Right.
The movie was great.
Yeah.
I don't know about going to Coda 2. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But they could do a Coda 2, but don't. They could, do a lot about the family. You know what I mean? They could go like, hey, the mother gets pregnant again for some reason. Who knows You know what I
But
mean?
For some
It
reason.
the really cool thing about CODA, which is Children of Deaf Adults.
Adults.
Yep.
The great thing about this movie, though, number one, it was an unknown movie, and we watched it. We all loved it. It's almost been like a very slow burn for this movie. When you tell some of your friends to watch CODA, 90% of them will have no idea until
Right.
this recent. I'm saying prior to the Oscars, the awards. If you said it prior, they had no idea what it was about. But most people that have watched this movie that I have said watch this. I had a post on Facebook about it. I'm like, I highly recommend you watch it. Everyone that's posted said I loved that movie. I think it's brought awareness to children of deaf adults, of having parents that are deaf, because weren't we watching some UFC guys?
Yeah.
And we saw those commercials
Yep.
that were I don't know what the product was, but it was CODA, and it was some other people that were kids that were raised. I think it's for one of those FaceTime, like
right. Yeah.
like a Google type app.
I think it's one that Google
type
camera. Where they're like, you can stay in touch.
One of my friends a while back was asking me for a movie to watch, and I've been saying watch CODA. I said it I don't know how many times. So he phoned me up last night. He said, I watched CODA last night. He said after 20 minutes I turned it off because I was tired of reading.
Whoa! He probably would have been. Hey, it's a good thing he didn't finish it, because he would probably got tired of wiping his eyes from crying so much when he get towards the end of that.
Call me back, Eddie, and tell me, if you want to watch another good movie, suggest A Man Called Ove.
Another thing I got to mention, though, quickly about with the Best Picture is that how many movies they have there for it. It's like they had to take everything that was voted on something earlier and throw it there in the mix. And I just I don't think it's too many. There's too many in there.
Well, they expanded it and still couldn't have room for frickin' Spider-Man.
Right, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they could have got. I'm sorry, that Nightmare Alley. Oh my gosh, another one that you're looking at your watch. I can see where Don't Look Up. I see where that was a political movie. So it was a political statement movie. I can see why that was in there, even though it's not a great movie.
I don't think it belonged as Best Picture.
No, not Best Picture. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funnier the second time I watched it better than the first time. But Belfast, because it's a period piece, it's more historic, and it's black and white. That's why it gets in there. You look at West Side Story. It's a Steven Spielberg, of course, and it's a musical. It's a musical, so it's going to get in there. Couldn't figure out why Power of the Dog gets in there.
The gay vote.
Yeah,
I guess, but it just, I guess, but it.
Yeah, but it depends what time of the year it comes out too, right? Yeah. A lot of good movies are forgotten and they come out too early.
Yeah.
Well, they also had that new thing in the Oscars this year where they had the fan favorites category.
So now
where they
People's Choice.
It's kind of like that, but it was people voted on what the fans' favorites movies of the year were, and they listed 5 movies. Now, what killed me was Spider-Man: No Way Home came in 3rd place in that vote, and the number 1 movie fan favorite was Army of the Dead.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, are you people
No, you know, no. You know what it is? It's just like with IMDb. The amount of votes that it got, could have been, part of that judge of where it got ranked. You know what I'm saying? Because Army of the Dead was out way longer, and so it might have got a lot more votes. And then when that same person goes back in to try to vote again, maybe they can't retract their vote. Or
I don't know how they got the vote, but I just saw it when I was watching a broadcast live, and they were mentioning the movies because there was some freaking Johnny Depp movie that was mentioned, Simata or some whatever that was on there I'd never heard of, and it was just cracked me up that Spider-Man came in third and Army of the Dead was first.
Yeah, it's got to be like a thing of how long that was up there, or it's how people got to vote. You know, they saw Spider-Man and a bunch of people started voting for it. But when Army of the Dead came out, a lot more people had more time to vote and keep voting for it.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so visual effects. Dune won that. Nominees that did not win were Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, as well
Which I'm
as
shocked
Spider-Man
that made
No Way
it
Home.
there. Okay, nigga, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, and for visual effects. So
wow.
And so I again, Shang-Chi, I think you're in the right place for that. I think that. So visual effects, writing, adapted screenplay, Coda got that. Nominees were Drive My Car, which I still haven't watched it. I have it on my Plex. I haven't watched it yet. Dune, The Lost Daughter, and Power of the Dog. Writing for original screenplay. So these were not adapted like the other one was. Belfast won it. We also had nominees were Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World. So, yeah, I think that there's certain niches that's that movies get put in these Oscars, and it's like, it's certain types of movies get put in there, and other ones get skipped and forgotten.
Yeah, because I mean the amazing thing is about Coda and like how it won for adapted screenplay, because the film that it was based on, a French film, The Family Bilar or whatever, it's freaking horrible. You know, and the actors who weren't even deaf.
I watched that one.
Yeah, I said it to you, Eddie.
I didn't like it at all. You know, I said,
I know.
Okay,
like I said, yeah. So I mean, I'm surprised they took a movie that was a French movie, and then somebody decided to. I mean, somebody had a vision, to adapt that from a crap movie that was released in France, to make it in what it became. Coda is amazing.
Yeah.
So it deserved to win an award for that.
Yeah. Adapted screenplay. Maybe that was some of that writing, adapting it from what it was into something new. All right, so hey, we're at an hour and a half. So
okay,
because we're at an hour and a half. So you got something quick, Alban? I know that you got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I do, but I can. Well, just hold on. Let me just take one quick look here. I just had. Let me just take this off for a second. Where was it? Yeah, hold on. I'm sorry. Just quickly about dates for other stuff. Ozark, part 2, has been. They said April 29th. That's coming back.
Awesome.
Season 4, part 2. Yep.
Yeah. So just so everyone knows,
awesome.
What do we have here? It's our Oscars. Apple TV's Coda is first streaming movie to win Best Picture. So we just spoke about that. And another one here, 2 more. Quantum Leap. Raymond Lee is going to be set to succeed Scott Bakula in the NBC reboot. I know we spoke that, Scott isn't going to be doing the reboot, but at least they have someone, this Raymond Lee, to do it. And one more here real quick. Disney Plus is coming to over 40 new countries soon, just so everyone out there knows. Okay, that's it for me.
Discovery Plus and HBO Max merged.
Yeah.
And again, with thoughts and prayers out to Bruce Willis. I know me for number one, I knock on him and his acting terribly. I'll be the first one to admit it, and it is what it is there. now that he has done acting, with his with Alzheimer's or whatever. I've seen a couple different things of why they said amnesia. One thing said
dementia.
amnesia, but
I've seen
so-
dementia and
Dementia.
aphasia.
Yeah.
so he's done acting. So
Shame.
a great actor early on, but again, the last 5-10 years is just after Reds. I think Reds was probably the last one I really liked.
Yeah.
But thoughts and prayers out to him and his family.
Yeah.
With him not being on, like I said, I'm always first to dog. I've been. I'll admit I dog his acting out because now he's got a reason. So let's see. So that's what we got next week. What movie was it that we have to watch again?
Something about somebody's eyes.
Shadow in My Eye.
The Shadow in My Eyes.
The Shadow in My Eye, or Bombardment. This is on Netflix.
Netflix, yes.
So you can find Bombardment on Netflix. So be sure to check that out. And we'll run through the panel real quick so we can get up out of here and get you guys, folks. Roger, anything you want to say before we go?
Thanks for the invite. It's fun as always. And I'll see you next week.
Eddie.
Yeah, good show, and let's wait for Good Friday.
All right. Beach.
Aubin, quit spending so much time watching movies. Focus more on mini golf.
Aubin.
I thanks everyone for coming out. I have to watch these movies. You can't take that away from me. I enjoy watching them. So at least if someone says, what's bad, I can tell you when there's a really bad movie. But I'll still make you watch it.
He always candy coats his bad movies.
Yeah.
Aubin, he'll say, "Was it a bad movie? Was it a good movie?"
Well, that's because it's coming on. You guys have to vote for it, and I don't want to be the influence of your vote. You have every opportunity to just check out the movie, like me. Because I'm so bad that I will still do anything to sit through a movie, because I sat through that one today. The
play Candy Crush.
You Were Not My Mother, and I couldn't even play Candy Crush during it because it was like it was like a bad Carrie, and I'm like I got to keep watching this thing, because it could get picked, and here I am. I take notes and all kinds of stuff, so. Hey. All
right. So,
but thanks
you,
everyone. Thanks. And guys out there on the panel. I'm sorry that it's not that I really hate Will Smith, but what he did to me was wrong.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you out there, don't like Chris Rock. I saw, but I always thought he was funny. I think his humor to me is. He thinks about everything that he says, because everything he says always rolls back, like how a lot of Richard Pryor did with a lot of his stuff, and that's why I like him so much, because there are a lot of great comics that I would never want to see this happen to, that someone's going to just get up in a comedy club and decide to either swing at them or shoot them dead. We don't need that. It shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't. And one other thing, real quick, that I didn't mention before is that you have to just check out the other video of the Arsenio Hall show with Will Smith, and Will Smith makes this a joke about Arsenio Hall's music guy, who's completely bald, and Will Smith goes off on this bald guy. So see how things come around. You know what I mean? So you really got to check that out.
And again, Will thought the joke was funny.
Yeah,
so we saw Jada's face.
Absolutely right.
All right, so that's it for us, because we're running late, you guys. Be sure to watch the NCAA tournament. My boys are in it, playing Duke on Saturday night, and that is going to be the third time. third time they've played this year, because anybody that knows,
it'll be in split screen with the Tough Man contest.
Okay.
Yeah, we will have it in big screen.
Okay.
So if you have an Oculus, we will have it going on Saturday night for the basketball. So love some. This is the time of year I really enjoy basketball. The college basketball March Madness, great time. So be pulling for Carolina.
I will for you.
We got 4 teams left. So thanks for everyone watching, and be sure to post your thoughts and comments in the player pass room, so we keep get conversation going. It's good to learn. I love hearing from different people and hear points of voice. So we'll see you guys on Friday.